Hey, guess what? It's Wednesday.
Again.
You know what? That means
What?
it's time for Live Wires.
Wires. Wednesday, 9 p.m. The Live Wires.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Dave? Anything new at your place? Same stuck in the house week, same stuck in the house stuff, or
Pretty much status quo there.
status quo there? Same
much.
Status quo here. I want to go outside.
Well, I mean, I can go outside. It's like 75 and sunny.
Yeah, we can go outside. It's just, you know what I mean.
I know.
Go get my hair cut. It's what I want to do. I want to get my hair cut.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Welcome all you wire nuts.
Yeah.
Man, the chat is flying, man.
Oh, by the way, we have a little bit of housekeeping we need to take care of.
Yeah, we could do some of that right now. You wanna break the news?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and break the news.
It's not April 1st, so it's not April. They don't have to worry about it being
Not April Fools. Not April Fools, guys. But May the 4th, like, Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you. May the 4th, we're moving to Monday night. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're just moving to Monday night.
Different bat night.
Different bat night. So May the 4th, it will be Live Wires going on Monday night from there on.
I'm not sure bat is as popular as it used to be, considering.
Right. For real.
Yeah.
So 9 p.m. Eastern time, do your math, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We will be going live on Monday nights. And we have a whole new thing that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, guys are not going to be, you're just not ready for this. So that's not for a couple of weeks yet. So we're still Wednesday this week. We're still Wednesday next week. We're still Wednesday the week after that.
Right.
All the way up to the 29th. And then the new one will kick off on May.
No, we're going to have a short week there because we'll be on Wednesday night, and then we'll be again on the following Monday. So,
right.
But anyway,
stay tuned because there is more to come.
There is a lot more to come. So,
you want to go ahead and talk about our buddies? We've got 33 watching already by my count. Woo. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good kickoff to the show right there.
Yeah. Well, scrolling all the way to the top there, I see Terry Himes.
Terry Himes in the house.
And Zach Thong. How's it going, gentlemen? And there's our buddy Bruce, Mr. BHB Jr. And Terry, I said both of those. There's our buddy Guitar Hack. Good evening to you, sir.
And our faithful mods in, so we're covered.
Yeah. And of course, Mr. Quentin James. And there's Big G, Mr. Gary Tholander. How's it going, Gary? Jeff Miller. And moving on down here. Let's see. So there's the Lars Guitars.
Hey, Lars.
How's it going, man? Good to see you. Rick Hefner. How's it going, Rick? And there's Jeff Miller and Tim Seymour. Good evening, guys. There's our guest tonight, 2 3/4 Jams in the chat.
What's up? We'll see him here in a minute.
Yeah, we'll see him in just a minute. Jay Steen and Tim Seymour. If I say your name twice, I'm sorry. Bearded Blues Dude. Good evening. Fruitcake Tony, Marco's Images, Dan of New Jersey, Dan of NJ. How's it going, guys?
My buddy Paul Loon and I were going to hook up this weekend and go guitar shopping in Tampa, but guess what we're going to do now?
Stay at home.
Not that.
There's our buddy Music Therapy Laz in the chat, and Gabriel Tone. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Dry Heat 480. How's it going? Andy Dion. That's a new name. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by. checking out the show. And it just jumped on me. Headstock Harem, Hugh Caldwell. Hugh all the way from Scotland. Hope you're doing well this evening to you, or more early morning to you.
Yeah, he stays up late to watch the live wires.
Lonnie Z. I'm not going to try and butcher it again. How's it going? Good to see you again. Craig Flowers Music Studio. Good evening. PJ and the Beard. How's it going? Hope you all you guys are doing well and safe. And why not? How's it going?
We got one question. We might as well just go ahead and address it now, and then we'll get to our guest. It has something to do with the things we shall be telling you about that you don't know yet. But there is a reason. But we'll let you know that reason as we move on the next couple of weeks. So,
we'll definitely let you know that reason on May the 4th.
Yeah, well, if not before then, but yeah, it's a surprise. So
it's a surprise, it's a big surprise. So
yeah, if we missed you, tag us, shout us out.
Yeah, Frank C, I see you there. Paul Lou, good evening to you. Six String Brian, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. And I think I'm down to the bottom. If I missed you, tag me.
Did you get Why Not, Frank C? Yep. Lonnie's in.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I said Lonnie Z because I'm not gonna butcher
his name again. Gave you phonetic spelling last time. That's all right.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I believe it was Zemaripa. I believe was right. I probably butchered it again. There's Janice. Hey, Janice. Sorry, I missed you earlier. All right. I think we're done. We got 44 waiting for the big announcement here of the guest. HK, good evening to you. All right. Yeah. And well, let's go ahead and bring him in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2-and-3 chord jams on the live wires.
Howdy, folks. Howdy.
Hey,
what's going on, buddy?
Matching, man.
You guys are matched.
Oh, I'm geeking out. I got the hack shirt, the Dave Stafford hat, and the Craig Reckless iced tea mug tonight.
You're just covering all the bases tonight.
I've got the live wires
buddies covered. You said you were geeking out, man. You busted out all your YouTube buddies' gear.
Absolutely, man.
That's all right. I'm wearing my Gibson and my live wires tonight.
Well, you should be after what you just did.
Yeah, I'm in a Gibson kind of mood today. But when am I not?
I would think so.
If I had a Fender mug and a Fender hat, that would be news.
Speaking of news and Gibson.
Speaking of news.
And Gibson.
Right. Don rocks, Lars Guitar says. Yes, he does. So we're very honored to have you on the show, man. We would like to start the show off with one quickie question just to kind of set the table. And I forgot to ask you, is it okay if we call you Don since you put Don in your
Absolutely.
Don,
I've been called a lot worse.
There you go. So I'm sure. Don, we would like to know what led you to starting a YouTube channel and posting content on the interwebs.
Well, okay. So I thinking about this because I've watched this, with other guests. Years ago, my wife, I think, sent me something. You got to watch this, and I didn't even know what YouTube was. So, YouTube looks pretty cool. I found you can listen to all kinds of music and all that, and you know how when you're watching a video, everything pops up on the one side, right? So sure. there's a thing. You're not tuning your guitar right. I said, well, I got to see this.
I'm not. I need to know about this.
So I click it, and of course it's Scott Grove.
Oh yeah,
that was my introduction to the YouTube community. Now,
wow.
I thought the guy was funny as shit.
He is,
and.
He's just not politically correct enough for for current day YouTube, maybe.
Before his health got real bad and the Tonewood thing, I was really, really getting into it. And then it was the Tonewood thing. He got sick, and then Will's Easy Guitar. So anyway, that's how. So I said, I can try this, and I got a little cheap Zoom camera used off of eBay. I said I can do this, and trial and error. I started, and Then I stopped, and then I came back, and I changed for my name. I went to 2 and 3 chord jams because nobody could find you. I tell my friends, I said, well, there's 100 Don Smiths.
Right.
So,
or more. There's probably thousands of them.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I said pretty much everything I jam to is 2 chords or 3 chords. Might be a 4th or 5th chord thrown in there, but for the most part, I'm just doing like A minor to G or A minor, G and F, or A minor to D minor, generally A minor's in there. And then some, and then I don't know. I think I found out about a chat, and there was Mitch, and Mitch saw I used to use my logo, the angry Oriole bird, which is one of the Orioles logos, Baltimore Orioles logos.
Baltimore Orioles, yeah.
And so Mitch got me into this community, and I found Guitar Hack, and from Guitar Hack, Christ, now I got over 200 subs, which is crazy. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it works for most of us small channel people, right? We make friends and, we're sub to each other and check each other's stuff out, right?
Right.
It's cool.
And I had found a guy, Jesse Anderson, years ago, right after that, and he lived in Delaware over the line.
What are the odds?
There you go. Yeah, there's only a few of us. But he was a real cool dude. He had like 10,000 subs. He set up like 3 or 4 of my guitars. I'd meet him at the Guitar Center near where I live, and then he just burned out. He did reviews, pedals, lessons. Real cool dude. And he did a review on a Fender Telecaster, and he used Fender website information for the the review on the guitar. And somebody creamed him, said you're full of this, you're wrong, and it really upset him. And you know what? He's also a teacher, and he just 10,000 plus subs, and
he was like, I got zero time for that.
Right. So,
yeah.
And he's the one I got the one of the guitars I'll show you later. We'll talk about that later.
I told you the other night when we were just chatting that I got to see Scott Grove's band back in the day.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Area, and I used to go to clubs when I was going to college in Indy, going to school. And yeah, they had a rocking band, man.
Hey, there's Mitch. Mitch is in here.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch.
We got a few new people joined in. Daniel Horsley, he's going to be our guest next week, so that'll be fun.
Krell Bar.
Frank C, what's going on?
Krell Bar.
Krell Bar's in the house. We can officially start the show now.
Yeah, that's it. Krell Bar's here.
Mr. Trivia. Man, that guy's fast. Trivia. He is fast on the trivia on Stafford's channel. Jeez.
I think it was Headstock Harem that pretty much dominated last week in the trivia, though.
Yeah, it was. It was Headstock Harem that.
Do you guys do trivia too?
Are
you talking about Stafford?
Yeah, every week. Every night we don't do it every week, but we do it so often.
Right.
Yeah, every so often. So last week we did the names of metal mascots.
Right, I remember. Right.
Yeah.
But on Stafford's Krell Bar, man, you forget it.
All right.
Right.
I cleaned house one night on Stafford.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Was he? You nailed all his trivia questions?
Yeah, I think like all but one.
Cool. So there you go. That's saying something.
I usually know them, but it takes longer for my grain matter to connect at my advanced age. So all these young kids beat me to typing it in.
But I got nothing on Krell Bar.
All right. One thing I want to say, one thing that's really, really cool about this community, and I guess from Hack, is where from Mitch to Hack and everybody else, this is like the no drama zone big time. And that is what is so cool. It really is more enjoyable.
Much we try to, that's something we want to keep.
But everybody's channel is the same way. That's what's so great. All the chat hacks.
Sorry, there's Dane. Hey, Dane.
Oh, Dane. Dane Zimmerman in the house, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Dane? Man, I bet you're wishing you could open the shop back up. I expect he's shut down too, just like everybody else, aren't you, Dane? That's a bummer. Be hanging out in the shop instead of at home.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Don.
That's all right.
No, that's okay.
Buddy Dane popped in. Tim Seymour, see Tim out there. So anyway, well, let's move on. Anyway, it's time to move on to the next part of the show. So last week we started kind of moving our segments around a little bit, and we've moved this one up towards the beginning of the show because it seems to be pretty popular, and we got 54 people watching already. So let's go ahead and bust out piece of your action. So this is where we get the show and tell. So tonight we get to take a look at some of Don's guitar. So Don, we want to see some of your axes, man. But right. You can pick whatever order you want to show them in, and grab some stuff you think we want to see, man, or you think think's cool.
Well,
or just what you think is cool, more or less.
I'll show this one first because this is kind of Christ. There we go. This is the one that I won on Caesar's All Guitar channel.
Okay. Oh. Wow,
it's a
you want a guitar? Hang on,
Harley,
let me blow you up.
I mean, I get Chapman and Harley Benton mixed up. It's a Chapman ML2, Les Paul style.
Nice.
And I just did a video. I did a video the other night using this one. I forget which one it was. I think the Santana one. How
do you like the pickups in that?
They're not that bad. It's something that I would consider like the Sheptone thing that Hack or that other guy Guitar Bazaar, is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're not bad though. But see, the pickups don't make a big difference because I put so much crap with the Helix. I'm a X dude. Overdrive, delay, reverb, chorus on some of them, and but I'll tell you what, it's got an ebony neck fretboard, which I like. And Caesar set it up. He did a video on setting this up before he mailed it to me. And he has the action so low. Oh, my God. Hack thought I was trying to show him up on the Santana things we did. But the action's so low, it was like, man, I'm flying. And nice guitar. So I got that one.
That's great, man. That's cool. The one thing I'll say about this.
Best deal I ever got. Huh?
The Chapmans I've ever picked up in stores, the action was really high, and that's why I never really was interested in buying one. So it's nice to hear that once one's been set up properly, that it's good.
Yeah, well, Caesar really knows what he's doing. I mean, the guy,
obviously he's like an expert, but yeah, right.
Oh my God!
Speaking of Dave Stafford, there he is.
Hey, Dave Stafford, what's up, man? Were your ears burning? Your logos there?
Hey, Dave Stafford. Dude, this hat has got the stiffest brim of any hat I've ever owned in my life. Oh, my God.
You need a rubber band. Get it damp and put a rubber band around it. And
that's a great idea. I remember doing that as a kid. Okay, here's the next one. Epiphone.
Sweet.
They used to have a music store in the Baltimore area called Mars Music. And one time me and my wife went in there, probably 30 years ago. Right after we got married, and I played one and I wanted to buy it, but she said, no, you don't need another guitar. So I eventually got one, and this doesn't sound like that one, but it's nice. I used this for the one that the video I failed at yesterday.
Is that like a dot 339?
It's a dot, yeah. It's an Epiphone dot 335. I haven't done anything to it. I'm thinking of getting some pickups. You can't do anything now because I got nobody. I can't put them in, so there's nowhere to take it to have the pickups put in.
God, you can do it, man. It's not hard.
Dave, trust me.
It's really not hard.
I'll happily pay somebody once I get the pickups to do it. So anyway, that used to be my downstairs. I'm upstairs in my music room. I'm downstairs on the computer.
Yeah, I noticed the PVPA back there. Looks like you could blow the planet up with that in there.
Well, that's a story I can tell. I do not need. I was told to get 15-inch cabinet. What the stupidest thing ever. Okay,
we'll circle back to that.
I'll show you this one real quick. This is Dave Stafford has one of these. I bought this. I watched 50 videos on this guitar, and I thought I could get a real good, clean sound out of these EMGs. Not happening with a PA. I think you need an amp.
Dude, it's got a Floyd on it. What made you think that was going to be a clean guitar? Was that a CE?
Hey, I saw a lot of videos. I saw a lot of videos. It's an SE Torero, it's called.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's got a Floyd. My buddy, the guy I was telling you about, Jesse, set this thing up for me. The action's real low on this, but I'm not sure. I think this is jumbo frets. I'm not a jumbo fret guy. They kind of get in my way, but it's pretty. The only thing I'm going to probably sell this. The only thing wrong with it, I don't think you can see it but the thing where the whammy bar goes into, it's got a crack in it. It came that way. I've never used a whammy bar.
Does it have the?
It was stupid getting this guitar, but it, for 400.
Does it have the push-in type or the screw-on kind?
What's that?
It's probably just the push-in whammy bar, right? On the
I think it's a push-in. But Dave, I asked Dave when he was in one of his chats, and he said it's a real Floyd. And then this before I show you my pride and joy. This I had a Gibson Super Strat from like 1980. I forget, mid 86, 87.
Like the Victory series.
No, it was called
or the Mark series.
It was black. No, it was
all day long with the Floyd on it.
I can't think of it. Anyway, I traded that to that guy Jesse I was telling you about for a Gelvin. You know, Will's Easy guitar, the Tonewood guy.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. This neck is to die for. If you like a skinny neck from the front to the back, oh my God. I guess is that like a Ibanez? Ibanez does that a lot. Okay. But this guitar
Wizard neck.
Now it's kind of weird. The tuning pegs it just looks weird. Can you see how far the strings are off?
Yeah.
Past the nut. It just looks weird.
It's got a tall nut too.
Yeah.
But this thing stays in tune. The action is it's got a very complex pickup system.
Yeah.
It reminds me of an ESP Horizon 2.
Right.
2 or I can't remember which one. The one with the Longhorn, either the 2 or the 3.
Before Will's health failed and his business went under, he was supposed to build a guitar. He got $1,000 from Phil McKnight. Everybody voted Will to build him $1,000 guitar, and he never built it. So he lost a lot. But anyway. But it's a patented, and he had some very impressive guitar. Jamie Glazer, I think, is a guy played with Chick Corea for a while.
You can land the space shuttle with that. Go way out.
But anyway, I did a lot of videos with this. This is my best guitar until I got my pride and joy. But hey, these are very nice. I don't know what I'll do. I'll keep it, I guess.
No, that's not the OPS, right? The one piece.
No, that's the Orion. The OPS is more of a. You know what the OPS reminds me of? The early Epiphone. That didn't look like it. It was just a double cutaway. Yeah. It wasn't an SG. I don't know. You got to. I'm an old man, so.
Oh, I've seen
Houston, we got problems. All right. But so anyway, this is my bucket list guitar.
I can already tell it's an HP.
Yeah, it's an HP. Yeah, so you do that.
And it's all. I can also tell it's a Blueberry Burst.
Yeah,
baby.
Dave's got 2 Blueberry guitars.
No, just one.
Well, your Telly's Blueberry too, isn't it?
Well, kind of.
So anyway, Mitch beat me to it. He got this is what a Let's Call standard, right? But
standard
it's an HP standard.
HP. Yeah.
So he got the standard. The guy brought this out, and I didn't ask for an HP, but I think it's kind of cool having a steel nut.
So basically, what you have now is what they call the modern. The new version of that's just called a modern, right?
Yeah, weight relief, which is still heavy. It was a big adjustment kit. My shoulder would kill me for about 2 weeks.
But on the moderns, you don't get a flame top now. You get a metallic red or a gunmetal gray. It's I think those are nicer for than the new moderns.
Well, like I told you, Brian, when I went in, I told the guy, I said, I want a blue guitar. I don't care. It could be an Ibanez. It could be a Gibson. I don't care. It could be.
He's like, bring me all the blue guitars you have in the shop.
But
let's look at them.
And so everything's the difference between mine and Mitch's is only really 2 things. I got chrome around the pickups, whatever you call these things.
Chrome rings, yeah.
Rings. And the chrome nut. 3 things: the chrome nut and the chrome whatever the cover.
Well, you also have the clear knobs on the HP too.
Oh,
you get the clear knobs. Yeah, you get the clear knobs.
Okay. Right. All right. But anyway, I was telling Brian this is kind of funny. I went down to this place called Chuck Levin's. It's in the suburbs outside of Washington D.C. and Tone King.
That's Tone King's shop. Yeah, I was gonna say
exactly.
That's where Tone King shops.
So I watched Tone King's videos when he was in the store, and I said, "Man, I remember that store." A buddy of mine in like 84, 82 bought an SG down there, and so I went. I wanted to see. I made it called and made sure the one guy was going to be there, the same guy that Tone King dealt with.
That's the old man.
Yeah, guy ponytail, gray hair, and I got. Yeah.
Oh, hey, hang on. Dave wants me to show. Oh, shoot! I just dumped Dave completely out of the show. Now he's back. Dave wants you to see his top.
Oh, I like that better.
Well, he's got a little bit more purple around the edges of his.
It's darker. It's darker. Mine's a little lighter than I would like, but I still love it. That's a pretty guitar, Dave.
But his is a traditional, and yours is an HP. So
this is a 2018.
Okay, so that's the year before mine.
Right.
So, but when I got to the store, I'm waiting for the guy, and I look up, and the first guitar, you got to go all the way to the back of the store to look at the guitars. And the first guitar I look at is an SG, and I guess it's called Blueberry Fade, because I went to their site this morning and looked. And I wanted that guitar so bad, but when he got it down, I'm playing it, and the neck dove. He gave me a skinny strap. So I think in August, if the stores are open, I'm going to go back and if they still have one of them in blue, I'm going to get the SG.
Hang on a second, Don. I'm going to rearrange it real quick.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I noticed something, Dave, on your traditional there. It looked like you had the clear knobs, like the ones.
Yeah, I put them on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder because I think that guitar. Well, I think that color just works with those clear knobs, right?
It does.
They also did a seafoam green one, which was funny, or that's not what they called it. They called it this, like it was like Tampress green. It was like they stole the PRS color. I forget what they called the color, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, it's seafoam. It is seafoam green.
But it was a flame top, and it was.
Hey, Dave, let me ask you.
It had clear knobs too.
Dave.
Yeah,
Can
sure.
I get chrome knobs? I think chrome knobs would look cool because I got chrome all over the place.
I mean, you can
find chrome knobs.
Well, you could
do Gibson chrome knob. I don't want some off market.
You could do the chrome bells, the black knobs with the chrome like this, but with the chrome bells. Like these.
That might work. Because I'll be honest, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like that clear. Yeah, that's nice.
These are the gold bells.
But I'd really like to have all chrome. Maybe I have to go aftermarket.
You could probably get them that shape aftermarket all chrome. You might check Reverb. Just type in chrome.
Reverb sells them.
Chrome Gibson knobs, and you'll find them.
See, I've got the gold reflectors on the Firebird.
Okay. Now another thing, you have a 2018? Do you have the Rich Light fretboard, fingerboard?
What's that?
Do you have the Rich Light?
No. On what? On the traditional? It's rosewood. Yeah. It's rosewood.
Let me tell you something. I looked at Levin's website, and they've got in the SG they call it it's a modern, and it's Blueberry Fade.
Right.
So it's a little different. So it would be cool. But what pisses me off is that it's a lot cheaper than the Les Paul, and it's got an ebony fingerboard. And this has got the Rich. There's nothing wrong with the Rich Light. No. But it's like, for as much as I paid for that guitar, I can't believe it. I said, is that an ebony, fretboard? He goes, oh no, you got to get a
custom.
What's the ones like you bought that Brian bought
today?
Yeah.
No, that's going to be a
shop. Shop. Custom shop. Is that
custom shop? Yeah.
The custom shop, the one I got, comes with like old school hardware and knobs and all that stuff, like they had in the 60s.
But like
Rich Light sounds cheap.
Like this, Don, that's a Les Paul custom. It's not a custom shop. It's a 74, but it's an ebony fretboard.
Which is a different animal, even though it has the word custom in it.
Back in the day, you could get ebony. one of the cheap, the
back in the day, you could buy that guitar for under $1,000 when it was brand new. Now try getting one of those.
Right. Oh, hey, Dave, that guitar I had was a WRC, is what it was called. The Gibson Wayne Charvel, and that was nice.
Yep. I remember those. Those are cool, man.
Salesman talked me into buying that instead of a black Les Paul, and I was a big Al Di Meola fan at the time. He had a black Les Paul. So anyway, I finally got my Les Paul. 62 years old, I got a Les Paul.
There you go.
So that's my guitars. I have a Stratocaster, but that's downstairs.
There's our buddy Guitar Pit. He says back in the day when $1,000 was $9,000.
Exactly. Exactly.
We could tease Hack about the
speaking of Blueberry and SGs, we've got something coming up I think you'll like, Don.
Cool. All right.
We might, and we're getting ready. You want to move on to the Red Hots, dude? It's probably about time to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the Red Hot section of the show tonight. We have red hot deals on the interwebs.
Yes, we do.
Share with you. So let me get the first one, which is this particular guitar.
Yep. So this is from Sweetwater. This is a Sun Valley or Schecter Sun Valley Shredder PT Floyd Rose metallic white. On sale for $629 out the door. Ebony fretboard, Floyd Rose, and I believe those are Seymour's. Am I right? No, EMG. They're the EMG retroactives.
Oh, with the Floyd. Are you paying attention, Quentin?
You're looking good. You're looking close, Q. And they have two colors available. So they have the metallic white and the green and the seafoam green.
You know what? I don't know. Seafoam green and a Floyd, but that is a pretty seafoam. Neck looks nice too. Look at that wood grain.
Maple. Now, that one's a maple fretboard. The other ones are ebony.
Right.
Floyd's a telly. It just doesn't.
Oops. What happened there? How much is the same price? Take your pick. Pick your poison.
Take your pick. Yeah. They're both on sale.
Isn't that kind of sacrilegious, a Floyd with a telly style guitar, T style?
Nah, not at all.
All right.
T styles are comfortable, man.
I know, but with the Floyd,
that one's actually got arm contour on it as well, and it's got the wheel adjustment on the neck, so you don't have to take the neck off to adjust the truss run, which is always nice.
Battery box for your EMGs.
Yeah. Nice belly cut too.
Clearly active. Looks like a smooth sanded down finish on the neck.
Yeah, matte finish on the neck, which is always good.
Sweet. So $630 out the door, free shipping. Oh, guess what? That one's been sold. That one's on.
That one's gone. Okay.
Gone. Somebody snagged it already. See if the green one's still there. No, it's sold out too.
Oh, well.
That's it. Oh my God.
Guess what? They marked it down. They went bye-bye.
Sorry, the deals are coming. The deals are coming.
Short.
Everybody got their COVID check today, so you can you can do a notify me when in stock if you're interested. Right. You can get them to lock in that price for you. So if you email your guy at Sweetwater, I bet you can. They would definitely do that.
I don't know if they're going to do any more is the thing on that one.
Right. Well, it said more on the way, so we'll have to take them at their word.
Maybe.
All right. This one is the one you alluded to that you thought Don might be somewhat attracted to.
I think you'll like this one, Don. So this one is from
nice.
This one's
American Music Supply.
American Musical Supply. So it is an SG Modern Blueberry Fade. So it's not the HP, but it is the Modern.
No, that's what I was looking at Levin's website.
So, yeah,
so this is the new Modern, right? This is the new version,
right?
Yeah.
This one says it's a minor blemish. So if you're into, I mean, it's $1,700, and that's out the door. They don't.
Well, it's $3,329, which is a hunk of change for an SG.
Right.
I doubt that's what they were actually selling for street, but that was the manufacturer's.
Does that say ebony
price?
Does it say ebony fingerboard?
That's going to be an ebony fretboard. Ebony fretboard.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. If I get one, I got to touch it. I can't. I'm not buying another guitar in the mail.
Slim taper, definitely ebony, medium jumbo, graph nut.
Yep.
Exact same guitar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Double A flame maple top, which you don't normally get on your SG.
Nope.
Hard shell case, Birchbucker rhythm, and lead.
That is pretty. I love that. That's what I played first before I got my Les Paul.
Nitro Celios and Tunomatic for the win.
For the win.
What's the difference between a Birchbucker and I think I have a Pro Bucker, right?
Well, there's different there's BB1, Birchbucker 1, Birchbucker 2, Birchbucker 3, Birchbucker Pro, or there's like 4 or 5 different versions, and Birchbucker 1 is Alnico 2, and it's a little more PAF like, so lower output. And then Birchbucker 2 is also Alnico 2. It's a little higher output. Then your 3s go into Alnico 4, I believe, and then your Birchbucker Pros go to Alnico 5.
I don't even know what I have on this Les Paul, but I like it.
Your custom buckers are Alnico 3.
Now
I saw that 24 frets. 24 frets. That's something. That's not normal, is it?
Yep. No, it's not.
MSGs, yeah.
On the moderns it is, but on like your standards, that's not normal.
Key was pointing out that they moved the strap button to the more ergonomic location.
And also make it hang a little bit better and not be quite so neck divey.
Right. All right. 1,700 free shipping.
Yeah.
And you can do payments.
Yes.
$141, 0 interest.
Right. And the cool thing about AMS, I will say this, and AMS and Zounds are pretty much the same company. If you have an issue with something you buy from them, if there's something not right about it, they will take it back, no questions asked.
They don't even mess around.
If there's something actually wrong with it, they'll issue an RMA and they'll eat the shipping on it. So you don't even have to pay shipping back if there's something wrong. So
one thing,
Tar Pit's got a special credit account there. He gets 36 years to pay instead of 36 months. But the interest rate is 27.9%. So,
all right, there you go. I didn't notice a case. I didn't see it. I guess
it comes with a case.
Yeah, it comes with the case. Yeah,
Gibson always gives you a case, right?
Yeah. Yeah, except for the faded models and the cheap stuff. Lower.
They get that bag, and that bag is nice. That new bag Gibson came out with last year or whatever. I don't know if they stuck with it or not, but it was a really nice bag.
Yeah, it really was. That's what I was hoping that I was going to get with the BFG, but it was just a
generic case.
No, it's just a generic bag.
I got to show you something else you get with the high performance. Just a second.
Oh, I bet he's got that gold case that looks like it's
oh yeah. Good case. Yeah.
Oh, this is the carbon fiber.
Fiber case, yeah.
It looks like I don't know what it looks like, but it
looks like a really expensive Stradivarius should be in there.
Yeah, right. There you go. Hey, Brian, in the essence of time, we'll drop out the last 2 things on this. So we'll do the last guitar and then we'll
okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's go ahead. We'll roll on to that next guitar, which would now be called a Kiesel, but
it's the carbon. So this is from the Music Zoo. It's a carbon. It's a hardtail Strat style, bolt-on neck, maple. It's got a bird's eye maple fretboard, 3 single coils, string through body, and under $700. So it is on sale.
Trying to see if that says made in the.
It's made in the USA. Yeah.
Made in the USA, right there.
Yeah. So it looks pretty good
because it's carbon that Kiesel's making this with carbon. That's the same thing.
Carbon and Kiesel are the same company. This is Kiesel before This is Kiesel before it was Kiesel, right?
But when Kiesel split off, Carvin pretty much stuck with just making amps and stuff like that. So they've come back, right? And I'm wondering if what I'm saying is I'm wondering if these Carvin guitars are being made in the Kiesel factory.
Well, that's a used guitar. That's not new.
Oh, so this is pre-Kiesel then Carvin.
This is pre-Kiesel Carvin. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
My bad. I thought this was a new one. I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I got you.
Yeah.
Bird's eye maple neck, man. That's pretty nice for that price.
Yeah.
Spurzels, 7 pounds.
Yeah.
Pretty color too. I like that kind of. It's not
orange.
Dark orange. It's like a light orange, almost like a goldy orange. Sunset orange. Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I like that color.
That's $200 off that one. So if you guys noticed the theme, Dave was trying to show us guitars tonight that had pretty sweet deals from retailers, more so than just going with this, the resale stuff on the
old reverbs.
On the reverbs. So looking at some different options to find deals for you guys, right?
It might get better if things stay shut down.
I know for a fact prices are going down because I saw one go way down today, and I was like, "Can't pass that one up." We'll talk about that later, maybe if we have time.
Oh, we got to talk about that later.
We'll look at it maybe. Well, we want to move on to the next segment of the show, which is the guest Q&A. So, Dave, you want to hit Don with the first question? We're gonna find out a little bit more about Don right now.
So, Don, when did you start playing guitar, and who or what was your inspiration to pick the silly thing up and learn how to play it?
All right. Well, as a teenager, I tried a couple times on my brother's acoustic. He never played. He got one. He never played it. I could get past the F chord. I just couldn't make a F chord. Then I got a nylon string acoustic, because that was easier. A buddy of mine had this. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of gave it up. So I guess our junior year, a buddy of mine, we grew up from third grade until we're estranged now, but he was like a prodigy trumpet player. I mean, he was all state, he have all state athletes. He was all state band,
Right.
And
I got a niece like that on the French horn.
I played trumpet behind him. I could read the music, but like I was first trumpet, second chair. He was first chair when he wasn't there. Anyway, so we went to this concert one night at the high school in the auditorium, and it was a band. It was mostly alumni from the high school that had come back to play, and they had a warm-up band for it, and it was my buddy. And he's up there, he's playing Ohio by, and I didn't know he could play that well. So I said, if he can do it, I can almost do it. Got electric guitar, and
cool.
50 years later, I don't know, 40 years later, something.
40 years, man. I wish I'd been playing 40 years. That's awesome, though, man. That's a killer. It's killer that you stuck with it. I mean, you really love a hobby or whatever you want to call it if you're not a professional musician. So, I'm shaking my head at you, Quentin.
So kind of as a follow-up on that, so did you come from a musical family, and were they supportive?
My mom could play piano well, mainly by ear, which is, I guess, kind of the reason I play guitar, strictly by ear,
Nice.
So really, no, I'm the only one that really pursued music.
Okay, cool.
And my whole family, I mean, you go both sides, mom and dad's, I don't think anybody else played anything.
Don, do you still have your first guitar?
No.
My
first electric guitar was gorgeous. It was a like an ES looking guitar. It was a Hagstrom.
Yeah.
And it had a Fender headstock, but it was gorgeous, dark brown, but it was gorgeous. It had the worst. I come to find out when you go out and jam, in the neighborhoods, the pickups were terrible.
They couldn't.
And it was a small mix. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't hear me, but it had and I didn't know anything about, long, it's small scale neck. So I mean, past the 12th fret, you're at you're at the double cutaways. It was, the
Right,
double,
right.
kind of like my Epiphone, but it was a little smaller body. Like I guess Hack's ES 339's got a smaller body than the 335.
Right.
So, and I think I gave that to a girlfriend's little brother because I didn't, I had a couple SGs from friends. I bought their old guitars when one went in the Navy and another one just got a new guitar, so I bought his SG. So they're both gone too.
Very. 50
guitars.
50 guitars. That's like a whole music store, Terry.
Y'all give me crap because I got 14.
I know. I get crap because I got 6. 50. That's all right. But he says he's on a budget now. I wonder why. Gabriel Tone wants to know if it's time for Jessica Alba yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not time yet. We're not there yet. All right. Next question. Dave, hit him up.
Oh, so if you can possess anyone's talent for 24 hours, whose talent would you possess? Doesn't have to be guitar. It could be any talent, but
yeah, stick on guitar. There's so many. I guess, and I just only in the last 5 years even ever heard of the guy Eric Johnson. I really dig he's got a song Manhattan as original hit. Man, great song. Because he can do rock, jazz, he can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go with Eric Johnson.
Cool. Oh, Eric Johnson. Yeah, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah, that talent doesn't suck.
That'd be a fun 24 hours because he plays all kinds of. He can play about anything, right? On his Strat, his semi-hollow Strat, even. Right. I like his Strat. His Strat's pretty. That butterscotch, the maple neck. I saw one of those last year at the Gear Fest. I was like, for a Strat, that's pretty sharp. Knob's still in the way, but it's pretty sharp.
One thing I like about him, he uses a lot of effects because he does there's a live version of All Along the Watchtower he does. And he even switches from his Strat to a little steel thing for the one portion of it. He does a pretty good cover of, Hendrix's Watchtower.
Like a lap steel guitar?
Yeah, but it's standing up in the air and he's still got the guitar and he just goes over and does
he's playing both.
Just for a second, he just the one lick and then he goes back. But he puts a lot of on a lot of his jams, he puts a lot of effects, I guess, chorus and delay and whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, I've seen him play like 335s and all different flavors, SGs. I've seen him play all different flavors, and of course, EJ sounds like EJ, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't
pretty
really
much.
matter what he's playing. Eric Johnson sounds like Eric Johnson,
right?
So.
Great. Vanzini called it. He says, we all have gas. 1 is too many and 1,000 is not enough.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well said.
All right. Now we're down to the, are you ready, Q? This is your Q. We're going to strand you on a deserted island with electricity. So you've heard this question before. So you're going to get one guitar. Doesn't have to be one that you have. 1 amp, 1 pedal or effect, because I know you're a Helix guy. 1 album. You got to pick 1 album. That's tough. The older we get, it's tough. I know that's the hard one.
But I think I have the answer to that one.
Then 1 miscellaneous luxury item.
Okay, so
for the record, Quentin wants to take Jessica Alba.
That's his luxury.
Like if you're stuck and you can't think of something.
Well, that could make it interesting. The luxury item. So does the Helix count?
Jessica Alba want to go to the island with Q.
Helix can be your amp and your pedal if you want. I mean, you can do like an FR or something like that for a speaker cabinet.
Well, I'd rather he take pick what you'd like to own for a tube amp, and then we'll just let you take the Helix as your pedals. How about that?
Okay. Well, amp wise, I'd probably take the the Roland. What's the one? JC 120.
Good choice.
Because if I'm on the island, I can crank it up. So I do the 120. It's got chorus in it. Yes. And if I can't take if the Helix doesn't count as a pedal, then I would take a delay pedal. So I'd have delay, crank up the amp, and got a break up. And then the guitar, I'd take my Les Paul.
Okay. Nice. You just take the one you already got?
Yeah. I like that guitar. Once I get the action a little bit better, I'll be good. And I'll delve into that rabbit hole here soon.
That's the easy thing on a Les Paul. It's got that little thumb wheel right there, ready to rock, baby. It's ready to go.
And then luxury item. Oh Christ.
Yeah, luxury item. Then I'm gonna hit you with the hard question.
Oh! I take my golf clubs.
Oh, there you go. You could work on your short game in the sand, dude. By the time you got back to the real world, you would be so good out of the sandbox, man.
Dude, you'd never fear a bunker again.
Dude, you'd be driving them into the bunker on purpose.
I'd fill it up with golf balls
down and everything.
I got a new golf bag. It's got so many. It's a big bastard. It's for cart only, really, or pull cart or the drive cart. But it's got so many pockets. I get mixed up where everything is. I'd fill it up with golf balls. I'd have plenty of golf balls.
I had the cigarettes.
Hit them out in the ocean. Save a few for the sand.
Hit them out in the ocean.
There you go.
All right, you still got to pick an album.
Just because double albums count, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I've got you can box set. You can do a box set if you wanted.
That's pushing it.
Set? The box set. Then I'd do the whole Allman Brothers box set.
That's
or if it was only one album, it'd be at the Fillmore East.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Fillmore East.
So you're an Allman Brothers. That's your go-to.
Big time.
That's good stuff, man.
Can't go wrong with that, right?
All right.
We had the Fillmore East on the show a few weeks ago. I think there was the anniversary in rock history or something. We looked back at that. They had everybody, man. They would have like the Allman Brothers tonight, and then tomorrow Jimi Hendrix,
and then the Grateful Dead following,
and then the Grateful Dead on Saturday. You'd be like, what?
The Fillmore East, man, was a happening place back in the early 70s.
The bank, the building's still there, but it's a bank.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, we got one more question for you. Go ahead, Dave. Hit him up with
last question, Don. What question should we have asked you that we didn't?
Which is the cop-out question for us, and then the hard one for you.
Geez, I don't know. I forgot about this question.
Oh my God. I'm sure Jessica Alba has an album.
No, I don't do drugs anymore.
Okay.
That's a shame.
The weed's too strong. It's too strong.
It's too strong.
I get equilibrium loss. Now, if they ever legalize it in Maryland or Delaware, and they have those shops.
He's like, give me the weakest weed you've got.
I want
going in there. It's like, I want the really weak, cheap weed.
I want to go in and request 70s era Mexican ragweed. Because
brown seedy with lots of stems in it.
Right. The stuff you had to smoke a whole quarter to get high.
Well, no, it wasn't that bad. But the stuff today,
backyard home weed.
The stuff today, if you smoked the whole joint yourself, if I did, I couldn't get out of the chair. I'd probably pass out.
Your wife would be like, I think he's had a stroke. Call 911.
The stuff today is equivalent to what we called tie sticks back in the 70s.
Right.
Wowie Maui, right?
Well, that was
God.
That was a whole different thing altogether.
I've never heard anybody say I want the really weak weed, man.
There you go.
It's the first.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, that's good, Don.
Did I show you guys my hat, the Dave Stafford hat? Is he still?
Yeah, we saw that earlier. I'm sure after that he probably wishes you take it off. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness, that was funny, man. That was a good answer to the question.
All right, next segment. Next segment
is circuit breakers, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do circuit breakers. We've got a couple circuit breakers for you tonight. We have All in the Name of Rock History tonight, and then we have something fun, and then we have another video tonight that we think you might enjoy. So first off, you ready to go, Dave? Let me get my photographic things ready to rock, and I'm ready. You ready?
I am ready, man.
Okay, there it is.
So April 12th, 2016, a U.S. court ruled that Led Zeppelin founders Robert Plant and Jimmy Page must face trial in a copyright over the song Stairway to Heaven.
See in court.
See in court, boys. Of course, we know the outcome of that. They were let go, basically.
They let them go on their own recognizance.
Pretty much that case was thrown out. So it took a few years, but I think it was wasn't it earlier this year or late last year where that was.
Well, they appealed. So the band or the band Spirits people appealed, and then they lost the appeal.
Right. That's right. So yeah, it was finally settled eventually, but it was so. Plant and Page are off the hook. So that moves us on to April 13th. And April 13th marked the end of the music industry as we once knew it. April 13th of the year 2000 was when Metallica filed a lawsuit against Napster.
And
guys.
And like 3 or 4 universities, including my alma mater. I did not realize that it wasn't just Napster. They sued Indiana University and 3 or 4 other colleges.
Southern California University and Yale University.
Yeah, and I didn't understand what that had to do with the whole thing, other than maybe they had something to do with the technology involved with Napster.
Quite possible.
Which is a possibility because Mark Cuban went to Indiana University, and he's the guy that kind of more or less came up with the whole streaming thing in the first place on the internet back when we still just had news groups.
Right.
That's how he got rich.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You single-handedly helped destroy the music industry as we knew it.
Yeah, Napster didn't help. Is that who you mean, or no, Metallica?
Metallica.
Yeah.
Both, really. All right.
Next one.
April 14th, back in 1945. It is Happy Birthday, Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple, Rainbow.
Yeah.
He was born in Weston-super-Mare, Somerset, England.
That's a long name to write on an envelope.
Right.
I have a question. Do you think it's his tech or him that prefers to not clip off the strings? Because that drives me nuts.
Drives me insane too. Don't feel bad.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Today I was watching a video of him, and he's got a beautiful wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing some Renaissance type.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But what was weird about it is they would start a song and she was getting ready to sing, and then they'd zip it and they didn't show her singing.
Right.
Really?
I left. I could. It was a replay, I guess, of a live chat.
Okay.
They were doing live chat, but
there's a documentary about it too, and I think they show clips of the performances. So,
well, this looked like something they were doing at home in Long Island during the quarantine.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a couple years ago. What I was watching was filmed.
Oh, okay.
Richie's fretboard is scalloped, but I believe it's only scalloped halfway, isn't it?
Halfway up, yeah.
Have you guys ever played that, a scallop?
No.
I picked him up and went, what?
Not my thing. And then April 15th in 2001, sad day today, Joey Ramone left us permanently.
Oh, today?
Yeah, today marks Joey Ramone, Jeffrey Ross Hyman
He wasn't that old, was he?
Lymphatic cancer.
Yeah.
And then on November 3rd or 30th of 2003, a block of East 2nd Street in New York City was officially renamed Joey Ramone Place.
That's kind of cool. See the little dude up there in the window?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Joey. We miss you, man.
Father of punk, more or less, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
All right, there we go.
16th, 1996, Kiss appeared in full makeup at the 38th Grammy Awards, where they announced their big reunion tour. It would mark the first time all four members had appeared together in over 15 years.
And Tupac broke the news. Isn't that something? Tupac's kid.
And April 17th, 2004, Kurt Cobain's Mark IV style Mosrite gospel guitar sold at auction for $100,000.
Holy crap, for a Mosrite?
For a Mosrite. Other items sold at the same auction included Elton John and Bernie Taupin's songwriting piano, which sold for $140,000, and a 1966 Rickenbacker owned by the Byrds Roger McGuinn sold for $99,000.
Wow, $100,000 for the Mosrite, so that's only about 1/4 what they got out of the stinky sweater.
Exactly.
They're like, I have $400,000 for the stinky sweater.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy. All right,
and round out April 18th, 1987, MTV finally acknowledges the existence of heavy metal with the debut of Headbangers Ball.
That's cool. 1987, huh?
Yep, 1987. And we have that
was on my 23rd birthday. Headbangers Ball debuted.
We have one special announcement. April 18th, 1964. Welcome baby Brian into the world.
Baby Brian up there in the corner.
And Axl Rose in Lafayette, Indiana.
Yeah, me, Axel, and Izzy all born in that hospital. How about that?
Happy birthday Saturday, Brian.
Thanks. Oh, man, I went too far. All right, we'll get rid of that. That's enough of that.
Nice.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. I got a birthday present on the way too. So
yeah, you do.
Happy birthday to me. So
happy
all
birthday.
right, we've got another little bit for you here tonight, gang. This is going to be 10 most important moments in metal history. Now, this is not our list, just to clarify. This came from loudwire.com. They actually have the 66 most important metal moments on their website, but we're just going to do the top 10 for sake of time. So we've got the top 10 metal moments, and I'll do the first one, Dave, but let me get the first photograph up. And we already kind of mentioned this, but it made their list also, which didn't have anything to do with the date. It just happened to make the list. So in the early days of MTV, hard rock bands had a difficult time getting any airtime. A couple of bands, Quiet Riot, Def Leppard, and Twisted Sister, had started to break through with Come On, Feel the Noise, Photograph, and We're Not Gonna Take It. And then Dee Snider started a new show that he pitched to MTV called Metal Mania. It went on for 18 months, and Dee was never paid a single dime to host the show. After he decided he'd had enough, they rebranded the show Headbangers Ball. And that gave us metalheads all a chance to finally get some metal on MTV back in the day.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did.
And number 9 on the list, Ronnie James Dio. A hand gesture becomes a universal symbol of heavy metal.
Right. And, of course, Gene Simmons wants to take the credit. But reality is Gene does it different. And it was Ronnie. Ronnie
did he copyright it?
He should have. Can you imagine how rich Ronnie would have been if he got paid every time one of us did that?
Right?
Oh, my God.
Rest in peace, Ronnie. We miss you, buddy.
All right. Number 8 on the list. Most metal moments all time. Ozzy Osbourne meets Randy Rhoads.
Absolutely.
By 1979, Ozzy had quit Black Sabbath twice and his career prospects were all dried up. His managers, Don and Sharon Arden, tried to make Ozzy believe that it was possible to make a comeback, but pulling that off was going to require almost a miracle. And that miracle arrived at his front door in the name of Randy Rhoads when future Slaughter bassist Dana Strum set up an audition, to which Ozzy showed up wasted. But Strum recalled that Randy shred for about a minute and a half. Ozzy's eyes popped open and looked over at Strum and said, "Have him at the hotel tomorrow and let him know he's got the job." About 90 seconds. That was all it took. Wow. And that changed
that changed rock history, man.
Changed metal history.
Yes, it did.
All right, next up. This one changed metal history too, and this was just a little pressing one-off little record that happened in California.
Number 7, Medical Massacre debuts Rat and Metallica and launches Metal Blade. On June 14th, 1982, Brian Slagle released his first Metal Massacre music compilation. It was a collection of new and upcoming bands, including Steeler, Bitch, Malice, and launched 2 others into stardom, Rat and Metallica. For Metallica, the story goes, Lars convinced Slagle to let his band record a track for the collection, even though the band's lineup wasn't solidified yet.
There was no band.
Right. So you could argue that getting a slot in the compilation was the reason the band formed in the first place. Because they weren't quite a band yet.
Got his buddies together to make a song after he talked to the guy about getting a track on the album. So
the version of Hit the Lights that was on this first pressing featured Hetfield on vocals, rhythm guitar, and bass, and Ulrich on drums, and Lloyd Grant on lead guitar.
Who's Lloyd Grant?
Right?
Poor Lloyd.
There you go.
He got left off the train. All right, so Metal Massacre. And then the guy went on to form his own record label, right? Which Slayer is on his record label.
Right.
So it launched him into riches as well.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, number 6. Kiss plus makeup equals an iconic band brand. So in the early 70s, 1973, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley split up with their ex-bandmates in the band Wicked Luster. They hooked up with Peter Criss and Ace Frehley and changed their name to Kiss. Their original look was inspired by the New York Dolls and utilized makeup, but not the kabuki theater look that they would soon adopt. At first, they were more drag queens, but Gene Simmons recalled in an interview that it didn't really work for us because we're all over 6 foot tall and we look like football players. Soon each member developed their own character, the Demon, the Star Child, the Catman, and the Spaceman, and the cartoon came to life. And not only did that attract millions of kids, it also attracted the world's largest branding organization in world history, the Kiss branding machine.
Hats off to Gene for taking full advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Moving on. Number 5, Van Halen set the rock world on fire with their debut album, and they revolutionized rock. February of 1978, Van Halen unleashed their self-titled debut album, forever changing the face of rock music. Hard rock music, that's a stretch, but rock music, as well as inspiring millions of guitar players. David Lee Roth as the high-energy frontman with the fleet-fingered Eddie Van Halen, who became instant guitar hero, and his influence is still felt today.
Keep in mind, this is Loudwire's list.
Right. This is Loudwire, not our list.
Right.
Don't cruise.
Number 4, Rob Halford pioneers metal fashion. As influential as Judas Priest were musically, the British band had nearly an equal influence on heavy metal fashion. But it wasn't until Halford showed up on Top of the Pops in 1979 wearing a black leather biker cap and sporting a whip that the leather-clad metal outfit was born. He told The Guardian, "We were the first band to go out with this particular look. And once we were on the stage and being photographed, it just seemed like the look fit the way the music sounded, and they stuck with it." So
there you go.
There it is. First ever metal fashion. Rob Halford gets the credit. That's number 4.
Number 3, Bruce Dickinson joins Iron Maiden. Need we say anything else?
Right.
After recording two records and touring the world, Paul Di'Anno, Iron Maiden's good grief. Iron Maiden's ambitions were rapidly growing, along with their musical chops. The problem was that their lead singer Paul Di'Anno hated being on the road, and was
kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
being a rock star,
right? So Bruce Dickinson joins the band, and the rest is pretty much metal history.
He was in Samson.
Rock on, guys.
Bruce Dickinson was in Samson. They poached him.
Yeah.
And they went and they talked to him. They went to go have it. The whole band showed up. They'd said, "Hey man, we want to recruit you to be our singer." And they talked for about a minute. And he said, "I'm in."
And for what it's worth, Bruce can still go.
Yeah, he can still sing it, man.
Bruce's pipes are still pretty much largely intact. So
all right, we're getting down to it now. So number 2 on the list, Metallica fires Dave Mustaine. Of all the forks in the road that changed and defined metal history, few can compare to Dave Mustaine's dismissal from Metallica in 1983. The band had been together for a couple of years. They'd conquered the West Coast. They'd set out for New York City with a new record deal from Megaforce Records.
Krill Bar. Sorry, Brian.
By the time they got there, they had decided that they could no longer tolerate the heavy drinking and aggressive personality of their volatile lead guitar player. So on the morning of April 11th, 1983, in New York City, the band packed Dave's bags. They were all standing above his bed when they woke him up. They handed him a bus ticket and said, "You're out." It took him a week to get back to California on the bus.
Wow.
With all the stops on the ground.
Dave.
But he turned it into...
He took those lemons and made lemonade.
That's what makes it significant, because not only did we get a different Metallica out of the deal, we also got Megadeth out of the deal. So that's the crossroads that affected metal history that they're alluding to. And then number 1, according to Loudwire, the most metal moment of all time is
Tony Iommi cutting the tips of his fingers off. And then he goes on to form Black Sabbath and creates heavy metal. I mean, come on. How much more metal do you get than cutting the tips of your fingers off and
in a steel factory even?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we've all heard the story. A couple years after Tony Iommi started playing guitar, he put in his notice at a steel manufacturing plant that planned on quitting the job after his lunch break on his last day. But his mother convinced him to go back and finish out a shift.
Ouch.
So during which he cut the middle and ring fingertips off on a sheet metal cutter. Rather than giving up playing, he constructed wax prosthetics out of a melted bottle, using some leather to the tips, which allowed him to play the guitar using lighter gauge strings. He turned his misfortune into a heavy metal. Rock on, Tony.
That's stick to itiveness, right? He could have just quit and been a cab driver, right? Because well, my life's over, I give up, but he didn't. So good on you, Tony, man. Nice job. That kind of leads us into the final segment of the show. So last week we shared a video with you that was kids react to Motley Crue. And it seemed to Dave and I that the reaction in the chat was pretty good, like you enjoyed it. So we decided to show you another one tonight. Originally, we were going to show you kids react to AC/DC. However, the copyright gods had other ideas and
copyright police jumped all over that like white on rice.
Yeah, it was going to be blocked worldwide if I showed that. So we were like, we're going to have to go to plan B. So tonight we are going to show you kids react to Black Sabbath, since that ties in with what we just did. So let me go ahead and make sure I share the audio, because I always forget to do that. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoy this. This is kids react to Black Sabbath.
Today, we are going to have you listen to a selection of songs from a band that some say is part of the early success of a genre of rock music that would one day be called metal. Yes. Called Black Sabbath.
The heck? That sounds like a Sith Lord. Isn't Ozzy Osbourne in this?
They were a super popular band, and I know my dad just listens to them a lot.
I love this song. Yes, I know this band. I love it. I know this song. My dad listens to it all the time. This is something I listen to. Ooh, that's great. I like that. The guitar. Little guitar solo. He has a good voice. Like a memorable voice. What are they saying? Because I can't understand them. It's good. It's loud. Those are all things you want in a rock and roll or metal band.
She's adorable.
Yeah, she is.
What the heck is this song?
It's the Iron Man theme song.
Oh my God. They make this song?
I know this one.
Everyone knows this song.
Everyone knows
This
this
is
song.
iconic. This is awesome.
This is iconic.
Her vocabulary.
Can he see or is he blind?
This kid knows the words.
She's the best. This one right here.
Go Iron Man.
Go Iron Man.
That's a good one. There's a lot of guitar in all of these songs.
Just one.
It's really loud. He screams a lot. It's not my brand. I'm normally a pop music girl, and I have to play the song on the piano. I can't believe they did this song and that other song.
The beginning intro, the drums and the guitar is just amazing.
Generals gathered in their masses.
This one's slower than the other ones. This one's slower, nicer. Kind of reminds me of Led Zeppelin.
She's so intelligent.
Poisoning their brainwashed minds.
Which is death, brainwashing minds.
Yes.
The drums in the song.
That's exactly what they said.
But his voice is actually pretty good. This is really loud. That guitar guy is really good.
No more war pigs have the power.
What the heck?
I have no clue what the lyrics mean.
Oh, my dad knows that part of the guitar. This one's not my favorite. All of the ones so far I've liked.
It's kind of hard to understand the lyrics. I think they were talking about war pigs. I have no clue what that is.
That was a very interesting song because it was going from one point where it was and then there was another part where it was going really fast.
It's called
Rain.
Thunder, lightning.
What is this?
They sound like they could haunt you in your sleep. It sounds like a
Haunt
scary
you in your
movie
sleep.
song.
And black.
What is this? Halloween is over. I'm sorry, Ozzy Osbourne.
Halloween is over, Ozzy.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, these kids are adorable.
Magic. Oh, God. This is Sad. Sounds like he's sad. Like he just got into a really bad breakup. Ooh. Okay, that's a good solo. That's a good guitar solo.
Started creepy, like the thunder and lightning. Then the lyrics are kind of weird.
That one was kind of like getting more like metally because they're like, oh, and they're like kind of started like screaming more. If this is just all instruments, I really like it.
The beat is really catchy.
It's a lot better than the other bands you've listened to.
I haven't heard most of these songs, but this one seems good. This is kind of fun. It sounds like they're losing their voice. Because they're yelling a lot.
His voice sounds like deeper and slower. It just sounds like a different person overall.
It was crazy. Not my taste. Too rock and roll. Some of them I really like, but some of them, they were too crazy for me.
They're like all like catchy. I was actually surprised that I liked them a little because this isn't like the genre I usually listen to.
I really like Black Sabbath.
With that
was
hair?
really cool. They have Ozzy Osbourne. They have a great guitar person. Sorry, I don't know your name.
Kid knows her
There's
stuff,
like
man.
some really
She does.
good drum parts. Pretty awesome.
She's adorable, man. That's cracks.
Yeah, I have to agree with Preston. Preston says that one kid doesn't deserve his hair.
I know. You talking about the older boy?
Yeah, the one with the long,
Long hair. He doesn't like anything.
Yeah, well, he absolutely did not like Motley at all, but he was like, I'm surprised. I kind of like these guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
that
does
little
not
girl,
deserve
though,
his
she's
hair, though.
adorable,
I'll agree
man.
with
I gotta tell you, last week after you did this segment last week for the first time, right?
Yeah.
That I saw anyway. The next morning, I must have watched for half an hour. Those kids are, oh my God. And then they
First off,
great, aren't they?
First off, they're so intelligent. They're so mature for their little ages. The little girl's vocabulary is off the freaking chart anyway. I mean, I'm like, just the words she's using. I'm like, yeah, how do you even know these words, let alone know that they sound like Led Zeppelin?
Right.
that's the greatest.
I wish
Whoever
we could have
thought that
showed you
up.
the AC/DC one, because at the very end they show a picture of Angus in his schoolboy outfit, right? And they're like, the little kids are like, is he? Wait a minute, why is his shorts so high? And then the other little kid goes, is he in a school outfit? And
Yeah, you guys go check out FBE on
FBE.
YouTube, and you guys can watch the AC/DC one on your own. It's definitely well worth the watch.
It's hilarious.
You'll get.
I just search kids watching rock videos, and they all
They'll
come
pop
up.
They'll pop up. So.
Anyway, gang, that's a wrap this week. Keep in mind, we're on Wednesday for 3 more weeks, or for the next 2 weeks, I guess. Technically, our show tonight's over. So for the next 2 weeks, we're on Wednesday. May the 4th, Monday, we'll be on live Monday night, May the 4th, at normal time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
With a surprise.
With a big surprise.
New show format type surprisage thing.
Revamp. Yeah.
Brian, I can't believe you didn't show your picture of your guitar, man.
Oh, we could do that. We got a couple minutes. We haven't busted out.
I think we should see that.
All right. Well, hang on. I got to do something first. I got to get them showable here. Give me just a moment.
So Brian messages me today. He's like,
look at this.
Well, he messaged me yesterday and he's like, look at this. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And today he's like, dude, they just dropped it another
$555.
$555. And of course, you know, I tell Brian, I'm like, dude, don't hesitate on that.
Guitar Hack was like, talk to Dave to help you talk yourself out of it because I'm not going to be any help. And Dave chimed in. He's like, I'm not going to be any help either.
Hack was like, Dave's the voice of reason. And I told Brian, I said, dude, at the price that is,
you should buy it.
No way.
Somebody else does. So I got myself, it's a 2015 RO, which is a 1960 reissue, and I paid under $3,200 free shipping.
You stole it.
Is this the one that has mods on it?
No.
This is straight out the factory RO.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it's not as I've been searching the planet for Tobacco Burst Les Paul. That's kind of what I really wanted to have next in the collection if I could find one. But to find one with a 60s neck is very, very difficult because most of them are based on the 50s. And that's when the Tobacco Bursts were, late 50s. Dave,
technically, there was no such thing as a Tobacco Burst.
When did they come about? When did they first call it that, Dave?
That was in the 70s. When they started doing the tobacco, what happened? Okay, so here's what happened. So some of the late 50s, 58, 59s, right? Because that's when the Burst was born in 58. So they were all Cherry Sunburst. Every one of them was Cherry Sunburst.
Like my standard.
Right. So what happened is why you have all these color variants today, like the Lemon Burst, Dirty Lemon Burst, the Fades, the Southern Iced Tea, what have you. What happens is the aniline dyes that they used in the late 50s
faded in the sun.
They don't necessarily, they don't all fade. They sometimes do. They sometimes just react. Right. And they turn dark. Sometimes they fade out light if they've been exposed to a lot of sun. So you get all these different gradients. And a few of them faded to this Tobacco Burst. It's really dark brown. So like all the red just ended up turning brown. So, and that's where that's how all these variants were born.
What kind of dye?
Aniline. It's an aniline dye that they put in the lacquer, and this certain type of aniline dye that they used was really photosensitive.
Like greeny, right? Greeny was a Cherry Sunburst originally. Now it's greeny.
Yeah, now it's just like green lemon color, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they
try to replicate the different colors.
Right.
Over time, they're like, well, the faded out cool ones, right? It was Cherry Sunburst faded out. So then Gibson's like, hey, let's see if we can make that color a color. Right.
Did you see this? Tobacco Burst reminds me of a grandfather clock that can fall and kill you. The Dark Savage. That's funny.
Dark Savage, yeah.
Oh,
pretty guitar, Brian.
He missed the guitar. I'll show it one more time. Hang on.
Thing's gorgeous.
I'll show it one more time because he said Rick says he missed it. So there, I'll just show you the top. So literally, I looked at ROs last year at Gear Fest that were $64.99, so $6,500, right? And on the last day of Gear Fest, they were selling them. They were like, "Hey, dude, you can take that home for $5,000." So they were knocking $1,500 off on the last day of Gear Fest because Gibson didn't want to drive them back to Nashville in the truck. They wanted to move them, right? They didn't want to take them home, so they were selling them. That's the cool thing about Gear Fest. People like you and I can buy stuff there, whereas at NANN you can't unless you got a store. Right?
So, Preston, real quick,
I paid less than half price.
That SG hanging right there was the same color as that when I got it a year and a half ago.
Do you smoke it?
It's actually yellowed. It's not
anymore.
But the especially Alpine White is really notorious for
fading,
darkening
creamy,
up,
getting creamy. Now your your bird is creamy on purpose, right?
Yes.
That's the color.
That's classic white. So it's that color. It'll darken up some over time, but it'll go. Do you remember the Explorer?
It's almost like a Olympic white in the Fender color palette, kind of that creamy the color. Yours is a little bit creamier than Olympic white. Your bird, but it's in the neighborhood.
Do you remember the Explorer at Zim's?
Yes, I do. Yes, that thing was cherry.
That will eventually turn that color yellow.
Did he sell that yet, or is he still hiding it behind the counter?
I don't know. He was still there last time I was in there, but that's been a couple months ago.
Well, you can't go there now. You're
No.
not allowed.
I don't know if Dane's still in the chat. He can answer that if he's still there. But anyway,
We're right at that 90-minute mark, dude. We hit it right on the peg. Next week, gang, we have our special guest will be Daniel Horsley.
Cool.
That should be a lot of fun. Daniel's a really, really good guitar player. He's got a cool band. He's got lots of cool content. And now, in that we didn't get it in the chat, maybe one of the real quick guitar hack, if you could find Don's channel for us and throw that up in the chat. But there's also in the description down below, everybody, there's a link to 2-and-3 Chord Jam's channel, Don's channel. So if you're not already subbed, please go sub. He's a great guitar player and obviously super nice, cool dude.
Yep.
And
Thanks,
so
guys.
we would like for him to pick up some subs out of the deal. Coming on and being tortured on the live wires, you got to get something out of it.
And tomorrow night, don't forget Guitar Hack at what time?
Guitar Hack's on at 8 p.m. I believe, and he's got a pretty cool guest on tomorrow night too.
Yes, he does.
The thumbnail's already up on his channel. He's got a pedal builder on tomorrow night. And thank you, Hack, for throwing up. There's Don's channel link right there, guys, in the live chat. So
8 p.m. Eastern, Guitar Hack tomorrow night.
Hack, who's your guest? Throw that up in the chat too.
Dave Barber.
Yeah. Pedal guy.
Yeah, pedal builder.
Pedal guy, absolutely right. Thanks, Jay. Jay Steen and us, we're all going to hook up at Gearfest. They have not officially canceled it yet, but it's literally just
That's looking good, man.
matter of time. Yeah, it's a matter of time, dude.
Ain't happening.
It's a matter of time. It ain't happening.
Guys, thanks for having me tonight, man. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming on, Don. I hope you had fun, man. Did a great job. Thanks for coming on. Appreciated seeing your cool guitars, dude. Got some nice axes, man.
Couple of them.
Cool. All right, well, gang, we're gonna let you go. So
good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out and watching us.
See everybody next week. Daniel Horsley. So tune in. It should be a fun one. Catch y'all later.
All right.
Be safe. Wash your hands.